Hello, everyone. Today I'm here to talk to you about a documentary that discusses the beloved cultural cuisine of the African American community. Yep, you guessed it right, soul food. And while it's most popular among African Americans, the film points out that its popularity extends beyond just the African American culture. If soul food is not a part of our present day eating lifestyle, it probably used to be at some point in our lives. But why were we eating it? Or why do we eat it if we still are? The obvious answer is because it tastes good. But by now, most of us have a clue that the way most soul food is prepared is not necessarily a healthy choice. And the film I'm reviewing today addresses the impact that unhealthy soul food has had on the African American community. The film is called Soul Food Junkies: A History of Unhealthy Soul Food Leading to Pancreatic Cancer. It's number 34 on the HealThyselfDetroit.org website. This documentary, produced by filmmaker Byron Hurt, explores the upsides and downsides of soul food and its effects on African American health, good and bad. Good in the sense that soul food does include different plant-based foods such as legumes, the beans, and different varieties of greens. And it's possible to prepare these things in much healthier ways that can still be tasty. But the filmmaker chronicles a story also of personal tragedy that happened when his own father developed pancreatic cancer, which was believed to be a result of his eating habits. Now, according to the Johns Hopkins Medical Center, the incidence of pancreatic cancer is 50 to 90% higher in African Americans than in any other racial group in the US. This film digs into how this type of cuisine became so important to Black cultural identity. It also tackles the tough subject of where the unhealthy eating habits began, and that was in the dark history of slavery, when healthy eating was not necessarily an option for slaves who had to become accustomed to eating the poorest quality food because that was the only thing made available to them. They basically had to work with what they had at the time and use their seasoning skills that they brought over to the United States to kind of dress things up in terms of eating and make it taste pleasant. But unfortunately, they made the food taste too good. They made it taste so good to the point that when other options did become available, African Americans were still eating the old way. African Americans still had a difficult time giving up the desire for that taste and texture. The grease from the animal fat, the salt, the added sugar. Some soul food cooks firmly believe in adding processed sugar to every dish in order to enhance taste, but it doesn't necessarily enhance lifespan. Another thing the filmmaker addresses is how cultural cuisines create cultural bonds. Relationships are built around food. When we meet a spouse or significant other, the first thing we want to do is go out and enjoy a nice meal together. Parents, grandparents, children, and other family bond around quote unquote good food. And it brings a lot of joy and happy moments. So when we choose to change those eating habits, it can definitely offend others. But we still have to do what's necessary to live a better quality of life and to live longer. And this is what the filmmaker emphasizes. This film is a great documentary for anyone still struggling with eating unhealthy soul food. There are parts of the film that are more lighthearted and entertaining as the filmmaker walks you through various scenes, but overall, it carries a serious message that the African American community and anyone still addicted to the unhealthy side of soul food should take heed to. Set aside some time to watch this documentary with others who may also need to make some lifestyle changes in their eating habits. I believe the film can make a positive difference for anyone who chooses to view it with an open mind. And that is my film review for today. Thank you for watching.